Hello, everyone. Oh my god. 10 gift memberships already. Thank you, The Bake. Hi, everyone. How are you? Yes, we're celebrating Twitch partner. I just realized while I was waiting for the stream to start that I hadn't updated Twitch yet. So I've just done that. Now it's correct. Hi, Laura and chat. Congrats on becoming Twitch partner. That was fast and well deserved. Hope you will still talk to us when you become rich and famous. I don't know if the rich and famous part will happen, but thank you. I will still talk to you all, as long as you all stick around. Whose birthday is it? Well, actually, it's my birthday soon, now that I think about it. That's very weird. Well, yeah, I attempted to do it, but I don't think I have the permission on Stream Elements. Oh, okay. I'll have to see if I can change that on there then. Happy Melt That Galaxy Day. Yes, absolutely. This hat, I don't like it. I'll keep it on for a bit, but I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It's like itchy around my head because there's an elastic. Cool glasses. Thank you. My mum got them from work. They were a free gift. Congratulations on making Twitch partner. Thank you, Yuan. Stream starts and I have to head out soon. Not so expectedly as yesterday. Sorry about that, but didn't want to miss the celebration. Well done, Laura. Thank you, Call Me D. Are you trying for the new Austin Powers movie? Yes, that's exactly what's going on here, yeah. You look like you've been casted in a female version of Akira. Okay. That's, yeah. Akira and Austin Powers, that's what we're going for today. The all pink aesthetic is working, quite a vibe. Well, thank you. Hi, Laura, congratulations for Twitch partner. Thank you. Kashilak. I can't read with these things on. I'm going to take them off. Oh my god, that's better. I can see. She's celebrating being an employee of that bold fraud. Yeah. Just join the stream. Whoa, that is a strong look. Congrats on the partnership. Thank you, Indigo. Put Kirby in that hat. Maybe I should put Kirby like right next to it there on my head. What would your name be in an Austin Powers movie? Good question. I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Just a sec. I have to take these out first. Oh my god, that's better. It's much better without that on. Much more comfortable. And I've got hair in my face. Lauralicious. Maybe. That's not a bad idea. That's better. Thank you for the 200 bits, Bart the Gamer. Congrats on Twitch partnership. On partnership. Keep up the great work. Thank you. And Call Me D 300 bits. Very jaunty angle on that hat. Yes. Very off center that was. If it was centered though, you wouldn't be able to see it because it would stick up so much. Put hat on Mitzi. Oh my god, she would hate that. Thank you for the Twitch sub. The Prime sub, sorry. Future boy. The partner sheep visited you to make you partner. Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, that's what happened. The partner sheep comes along, and that's how it happens. The partner sheep grants you a partnership. Testing your luck, human. Yeah, Mitzi would not like it. She would not approve. She would be most displeased, dare I say, with that. But anyway, how are you all? Have you been all having a nice weekend? I haven't been up to much. What have I even been doing? Well, I streamed yesterday. I think streaming Resident Evil 2 days in a row is a bit much because I felt very tired after that stream. I was like, oh my god, I'm barely conscious after that. Well done on your achievement, Laura. Thank you. Been on 2 bike rides in the sun. Oh, that's nice. Like push bike or motorbike? Does your mum work at OkCupid? No. She could do though. That would be that would be quite something. That's better. Push bike. Oh, very good. Getting some good exercise in then. Just woke up from a sheep. Ah. Was it a nice sheep? It's been a lazy do-nothing weekend, going to a Florence and the Machine concert tomorrow. No, tomorrow though. Oh, nice. I hope it's good. Why can't I speak properly today? I think I'm just overwhelmed. Congrats on becoming a Twitch partner, Laura. Well deserved. Thank you, Andrew. Chores and playing Cult of the Lamb totally zones out today. Nice. That is good. I want to play Cult of the Lamb. I think, well, I need to cook dinner after this stream, but I want to play more FF9. I want to finish that. I'm pretty sure I'm very close to finishing it now. Just playing some Shadow Labyrinth this weekend. Nice. You can speak French. Yes, I can. Yeah. It's been a lazy weekend. I am moving across the globe to Australia. Are you fish and chips or are you messing with me? Hi everyone, how are you? I'm good, thank you, Rolex Jojo. How about you? What are your mum's thoughts on the Resident Evil streams? Well, my mum doesn't really watch those streams very much because they're a bit too scary for her. She's not too keen on Resident Evil as a franchise. It's a bit too gory, a bit too scary for her, so she doesn't really watch them. She'll pop in here and there, like particularly right at the beginning of the stream, or when she knows that I'll be finishing soon because she knows that I'll be chatting. And then she might drop in every now and then. She leaves, I think what she does is she like leaves the tab open on her computer and she plays The Sims, and every now and then she'll like switch over to the tab that has my stream playing and have a look and see what's going on. And then if things get too scary again, she'll leave and play more Sims. I think that's what she does. Playing Dragon Quest VII. Oh, nice. How is Dragon Quest VII? Is that the reimagined, the new one that's just come out, I assume? How is that? Is it good? Have you seen any Resident Evil movie? I haven't seen any of the movies. She has watched enough to know about the Galaxy Chocolate lore. She has. Yes, she knows about the Galaxy Chocolate lore. She knows that Fish and Trips isn't a big fan of Galaxy Chocolate. Is your mum a gamer? She mostly just plays The Sims. She doesn't really play anything else, to be honest. She got into The Sims because of me. When was it? So when I was probably ages about like maybe 10 or maybe even 8, like 8 to the age of 14, 15, I was really obsessed with The Sims. And we had The Sims 2 on PlayStation 2, and you can play that 2-player, and I basically kind of forced my mum to play it with me, and then she got a taste for The Sims, and that was it. Then she was very into it, like me. And now she plays Sims on PC, so like the good version of The Sims. Although the console Sims spin-offs were pretty good during the 2000s, I will say. Are your parents retired? Not yet. They're not far off retirement age, though. That means Mum knows about me. She does. She does know about you fishing trips. It's okay. She thinks you're funny. Laura, are you in London? Maybe, maybe not. I'm somewhere in the UK. Yeah, it's really good. A little bit different than 11, but still good. Oh, nice. Okay. Sims Busting Out was peak. It was. I really liked Busting Out. Sims 4 on console, the controls were very twitchy compared to Sims 3, which worked well. Interesting. I tried the Sims 3 on console, which to me personally I thought was terrible compared to the PC version of the Sims 3. And I never got into the Sims 4, to be honest. I was never really a fan of it from the get-go. It felt a little bit like, well, not a little bit, very much like a step backwards, in my opinion, from the Sims 3. Even from the Sims 2 in a lot of ways. There was a lot of things that were in the Sims 2 base game that weren't even in the Sims 4, and I just thought, never mind. I'll just stick to the Sims 2. And that's what I did. Hi, Laura in chat. Hi, Arnold. I know exactly where you are, not in the UK, because I'm there and I can't see you. Okay, call me D. Narrowing it down then. I agree. I actually like The Sims 2 the most by far. Me too. I like The Sims 2 the most. Laura lives in my computer, same as the rest of you. Yes, I live inside your computer. That's where I live. I'm actually a sim, by the way. I'm not a real person. I'm just a sim inside your computer. Hi, Spring Shields. I love the Sims 2 console version the most. I really liked the console versions of the Sims 2 as well. I thought they were good. And they were quite unique. There was the Sims 2, the Sims 2 Castaway. I still like that a lot, to be honest. It's quite unique. My sister and I used to play it somewhat regularly. I remember we wouldn't leave the mum's house until we'd felt comfortable. We'd built a solid base on upgrading our skills to give us a nice head start. Yeah, me too. I used to do that. I knew Laura was AI. That's right, this whole time. I am AI. Thank you, Leo. Congrats on partnership. Thank you. Sims is strangely popular with non-gamers. It is, isn't it? It's kind of like how I think Animal Crossing is quite popular as well with people that aren't really that into gaming outside of like Animal Crossing and maybe The Sims. Can you defrag my computer? Unfortunately not. I don't have the ability to do that. I'm just a person inside your computer that says hello. Laura, have you watched Serial Experiments Lane? I recommend it, by the way. I haven't actually watched that for some reason, but I definitely know about it because it's quite infamous in the anime sphere. So I do know about it, but I don't know why I have never watched it. But I've heard that it's quite relevant to recent events as well. So I'd really like to, I'm going to have to watch it, to be honest. I have to add that one to my list of things to watch. Are your parents boomers or Gen X? I think they're boomers. I'm pretty sure they're boomers. Yeah, I don't think they're Gen X. Lane is very boring though. Well, I'd like to try it anyway because of how infamous it is. Like famous, well known, often talked about. It's because not everyone wants to shoot zombies in the face. Very good point. I never thought that I would play horror games, especially when I was a lot younger, to be honest. I had trouble finishing the anime. I mean, I guess it's not for everyone. I'll try it though and see what I think. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. Hi, Rainy. So yeah. Mitzi's in here, but she's of course on her cat tower as usual. Shall I get her? Shall I disturb her and bring her here? She's got to like celebrate partnership with me, surely. Mitzi, come on. How's that? Can you hear me now? See. Okay, good. This microphone. Basically, it said that one of the USB devices wasn't recognized. I don't know, it might be an issue with this USB extension port thing I bought. You know, one of those things that you can plug into a USB and it has a bunch of USB ports on it. In case you don't have enough USB ports already on your laptop. I had to use one of those. Hi, Falcom Scott. A hub, that's it, yes. Congrats on partner. Thank you, Retro Ventures. Yes, she wants to celebrate. Okay, Mitzi. Yeah. Yeah, we need to celebrate with you, Mitzi. Here we go. Oh, she's sniffing the mic. Is it really a Laura's CloudSave stream if the mic doesn't need to be unplugged and plugged back in? Exactly. See? Hey, Twinkle. She really... Say hello. She does not like me holding her much, to be honest. It's okay, I won't force you. I just wanted you to, you know. Oh, she's sniffing my bottle of water. Off she goes. Yes, she is not amused. Mitzi is wearing her tuxedo, I see. Yes, she's wearing it because I told her that we're celebrating Twitch partner today, so she put it on specifically. Or if you could just move out of the frame so we could see the real star of the channel. Excuse you. Shall I just leave? Do you want to get on the chair, Mitzi, and just do the stream for me, and I'll just leave? Hmm? Yeah, Mitzi said that she doesn't want to do that. I like the colour pattern on your cat. Oh, thank you. Me too. She's very pretty. Aren't you? Very pretty. Do you drink alcohol sometimes? No, not really. I might drink a little bit of champagne when it's the new year, but that's about it. I'll have like 2 sips and think, ugh, not nice. Ever played Metal Gear Solid 4 before, Laura? I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid games actually, but I would like to. Don't have formal attire. Exactly, yes. Formal attire. Do you like Spider-Man? I've never played the Spider-Man games, but I quite like Spider-Man as an IP, I suppose. I've seen some of the movies. Hi, Carl. She pulls the strings from behind the scenes. Yes, that's what Mitzi does. Mitzi pulls the strings from behind the scenes, and that's all she does. She doesn't... Oh. I don't know if you saw her tail, but she just walked past. She doesn't do anything else. She makes me sit here and do everything. But Mitzi's the true beneficiary of this channel, and she's the one in charge. Do you think that digital games have recently proven to be the actual way to preserve games? If we're talking about DRM-free games, then yes. Because then all you need to do is, because they're DRM-free, you can just put them on an external hard drive of some sort, or external SSD if you have one. I assume that external solid-state drives are a thing, but they're probably quite expensive. So you can just put them on a hard drive of some sort and back them up like that. You can make copies of them, you know? So, and that is probably the best way if you're about preservation, is to back them up. But physical media is still good in my opinion. Like, physical media is definitely better than digital games that you buy that are locked into that specific ecosystem. Like, if you buy digital games on the PlayStation Store, then yeah, you're kind of stuck with it like that. Whereas if it's DRM free, that's definitely good. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was was shit. I like when he had money problems instead of rich billionaire father figure. Okay. The first Spider-Man films I watched were the ones that had Tobey Maguire in, which I did quite like, but it's been a very long time since I've watched them. And then I watched the one that had Andrew Garfield in. I haven't actually watched any of the ones that have... Just a sec. I've got his name. Tom Holland in. There we go, Tom Holland. Hi, Ellis. I'm good, and you? Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was great. I like when he had money problems instead of rich billionaire father figure. Oh. Wait. Is that what you meant to send then? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for resubscribing, Sprang Break. You've never watched a Spider-Man movie? Well, no worries. I mean, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really a fan of superhero films in the first place. Tom Holland ruined Spider-Man? Oh no. Oh dear. Where are you from? Well, my parents are British, but I grew up in France, but I was born in Germany. So answering the question, where are you from, is complicated. But in terms of my ethnicity, I'm British. English. English is an ethnicity, yes. English. British is a nationality. Sorry. There we go. Yes, physical can also be sold while digital is stuck. Yes, that is very true. You can sell physical copies of your games, whereas digital copies you can't. Made a bad decision today. I bought a bar of Galaxy, ate the lot in one sitting, and now I feel ill. Maybe fish was right. No, Carl, you can't become a Galaxy hater. We can't have two in chat. Although I do feel a little bit unwell if I eat an entire bar in one sitting. I don't think that's what we're supposed to do, really. I think we're supposed to pace ourselves. I think you should put up French and English flags on your wall behind the plushies. Maybe. I don't think it would quite fit the aesthetic, though. That's way too much sugar, exactly. I think it's probably a bit too much sugar. I thought they made it that size for a reason. I wonder why it is that size, because maybe they used to have less sugar in them. That's probably what it is. They probably have always been that size, or have been that size for a long time, except that initially they had less sugar in them, which meant that they weren't as sickly and didn't make you feel as sick when you ate the whole bar in one sitting. But now there's more sugar in them, probably. I would assume. I swear this channel is sponsored by Galaxy. It kind of is, isn't it? It kind of feels that way. But yeah, not sponsored. Can Galaxy send you free bars as a sponsor? I don't know. I don't think Galaxy has ever sponsored any like YouTubers or streamers or anything. My daughter is half French. Oh, wow. How about that? Congrats on your Twitch partnership, Laura. Thank you, Jurassic Sap. Have you tried the salted caramel Galaxy bars or their white chocolate bar? I haven't tried the white chocolate bar. I didn't know that they have salted caramel ones, though. Or have I? Have I seen that one? Actually, no, I think I have had that one, and I thought it was pretty good. But I wouldn't say it's like my favourite chocolate bar. Are we still having arguments over Galaxy versus Cadbury? Kind of. We've got a new Galaxy hater in chat, I think, potentially. What's your favourite soft drink? I don't really know. Soft drinks means like sodas and stuff, doesn't it? I don't know, to be honest. I quite like Fanta. And Pepsi and or Coca-Cola. To me, they taste pretty much the same. Although, to be honest, I do seem to prefer Pepsi for some reason. Do you like hot chocolate? Yes, I love hot chocolate. Dr. Pepper for me. Ooh. I'm not a fan of Dr. Pepper. I don't like energy drinks. I'm not a fan of Dr. Pepper. I can do sodas. So Pepsi. I quite like Fanta. lemonade. I like lemonade as well. I'm not sure they're much of a hater if they ate the whole bar. That is a good point, the bake. Yeah, that is true. Cole did eat the whole bar, so it can't have been that bad, I suppose. Have you ever tried American chocolate? I haven't. I have heard many tales of what Hershey's is like, but I've never eaten a Hershey's bar or any other American chocolate for that matter. Energy drinks smell awful. Yeah, they don't smell very natural, let's just say. Hershey's is like mud. Oh no. I've heard that apparently Hershey's doesn't really taste very chocolatey. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of energy drinks. They don't smell natural. They smell very chemically, and they also taste, I don't know, they don't taste like something that you should be drinking. I don't know. Like I said, bad decision. I broke my co-op ban. I have no self-control over chocolate bars. I mean, do you guys... Oops. The chat's moving too fast. I mean, do you guys really fold it over to save for later? To be honest, I don't usually save the rest for later. Sometimes I do. Today I did. I do have a Galaxy bar downstairs that I started, and I ate half of it and left the rest. But usually I will admit I will eat the whole thing in one go and then not feel too great afterwards. They don't put sugar in American chocolate, they put corn syrup. That's the other thing, artificial sweeteners. They're not particularly good for you either. Do you like peanut butter? Peanut butter's okay. I wouldn't say that I, seek it out. I don't really eat it very often, but it's okay. I quite like it. Do you eat any snacks while you're gaming? Usually no. I tend to kind of just sit there, maybe with a cup of tea. Sometimes I'll have chocolate sitting on the side that I'll eat while playing a game, but most of the time I don't sit down with a snack to eat while gaming. But sometimes I might have been playing the game for a while and think, oh, I need a break, so I'll go and get a snack or something. I hate energy drinks too. I'm annoyed so many men in the gym need 2 cans of Monster just to do a few bicep curls. Yeah, energy drinks, not for me. I can kind of understand why people drink energy drinks and coffee and things like that, though, because, I mean, to be honest, the few times I have had coffee, I haven't noticed necessarily the biggest sudden spike in energy. But I do tend to feel a bit more awake, which is never a bad thing. Have you ever eaten Galaxy on stream? I did admittedly eat Galaxy yesterday on stream. Love your YouTube video. Congrats on partner. Thank you. Collinator? Hey Laura, congrats. Amazing channel, awesome takes. By the way, you are really classy. You remind me of those classic beauties like Jane Seymour and Deborah Kerr. Thank you. I always get weird heart shit when I drink Red Bull. Ah. That's the thing. When I drink coffee, at least, because I haven't had any energy drinks in a long time, but last time I had coffee, which was probably a few months ago, I remember I felt fine at first, and then I felt like I could feel my heartbeat, and that's always a bit weird. Getting up at 5 a.m. every morning, you need coffee. That is true. It definitely helps. Laura, what's your favorite game to play with? Oh, with a boyfriend, partner, significant other? I don't know because I don't have one, and I've never been in a position where I would have played a game with a partner or significant other. I don't know, to be honest. I can imagine something like It Takes Two, maybe. Might be something good to play with a partner. I got a panic attack drinking coffee. Oh no. Ooh. That's something that can happen as well, I suppose. Have you played games with your brother? Yes, we used to play Mario Kart Wii. We used to play, what else? Yeah, we used to play Mario Kart Wii. Before that, there was Crash Nitro Kart, Crash Team Racing, Crash Bash. I can't really remember that much else, to be honest. I think that was about it. Hello, congrats on making Twitch partner. Thank you, Cozy Tog. Did you ever play Bully? I do know about Bully, but I haven't played it. Did you ever play those Buzz party games on the PS2? Me and my cousins would play them all the time whenever we came around. Oh, interesting. I've actually never heard of those. So no, I haven't played those before. Do you miss anything from France that doesn't exist in the UK? The bakeries is one of the big things. France has much better bakeries than the UK. They have a lot of independent bakeries and patisseries that do really, really nice stuff. The UK is quite lacking in that department, probably because Greggs kind of took over. And I do like Greggs, but they're not, in my opinion, they're not better than an independent bakery that you can find in France, that's for sure. God, they have amazing croissants. Like, I remember in the village I used to live in, the next village, one of the next villages over, so we'd have to drive there, but they had a bakery and they would do the most amazing croissants and they would be fresh. So we would go there, me and my dad sometimes would get up early to get some of those croissants when they were like fresh out the oven. Oh my God, they're so good. They were amazing. Laura, you're French. So I grew up in France, but my parents are both English. Laura, have you played dance rhythm games like Dance Dance Revolution or Just Dance? Would be fun for you to do dance rhythm game stream. I have played Just Dance. I used to play that on the Wii. I used to quite like that. That's actually a pretty good idea for a stream, potentially. I could do some sort of rhythm game, maybe. What else do I miss about France? Honestly, it's mostly the bakeries, I'm not going to lie. That is one of the, like, bakeries are a big part of French culture. They are very important. So kind of like, you know how in the UK pubs kind of stay open all the time? Well, in France, that is the bakery. The bakeries, they will stay open. They need their baguettes and their croissants there, and I personally, I understand it and I respect it. How did you learn French if your parents never spoke it? Did you study on your own? Well, basically what happened is when I reached the age of 3, You don't have to, but it's recommended in France, I suppose, that you start what is called école maternelle, which is kindergarten. So you go there, they teach you like the alphabet and how to count and very basic stuff up to the age of 6, and then you start elementary school. So I was thrown into kindergarten not knowing any French. But because I was 3 years old, it was obviously a very low level of French that the other kids were speaking because they were like 3-year-olds. So I was able to pick up French while I was there. And then by the time I reached primary school age and started primary school, I could speak roughly about as much French as the other kids that I was going to school with. So that's how I learned French, through being forced to do so. Like, it was survival. Talking about bread, what do people call those cheap bread rolls in the UK? For me, it's called a batch, because they usually come in a batch of 6. Oh, the cheap bread rolls? That's a good question. I think they're just rolls, or I have heard them being referred to as batches as well, as batch. Damn, now I want fresh baked bread. Yeah. If you go into an independent bakery, they do some really good bread, especially if you get in there when they've just made a new batch. That is the best. Buns, baps, batch rolls, etc. Yes, good point. Call me Dinos. What do you usually do on Monday, Laura, if you're okay to share this info? Usually on Mondays, I don't do much. I don't stream on Mondays because the few times that I have streamed on Monday, I've found that that's when there's the least amount of people online. So I figured it just makes sense to make that a day where I don't stream. So what I do instead is either I'll film a video and start editing it, or I will have that as like one of my days off where I just don't do anything and I just chill. What's your favourite thing to have from Greg's? That will be sausage rolls, I think. Although I do like a pasty as well, a Cornish pasty. So I'll usually go for one of those. I learned English through watching pro wrestling and it became my first language. Wow. How about that? You know, I never know whether to take the things that Fish and Trips says seriously or not. There's some stuff that I know is obviously not to be taken seriously, and then there's other things I'm like, really? Interesting. That was serious? Wow, okay then. That's impressive that you managed to learn English through watching pro wrestling. Do you plan on playing any classic Resident Evil games? Yes, definitely. I really, really want to play, I would say probably the first 4 Resident Evils, the original versions. So RE, the first one, RE2, RE3, and 4. Those 4 in particular I'd really like to play. I also want to play RE3 remake, and I know there's a remake of the first Resident Evil which I want to play as well. So after Resident Evil 9, I think the priority will be either to start playing some of the original Resident Evils or the remake of the first Resident Evil. There's also RE0. Ah, yes, I do know about RE0. I've heard very mixed things about it, though. Some people say that it's not good. Other people say that it is. So do you guys recommend that I play RE0 as well? I'm playing RE0 right now. Good game, but I'm never replaying it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Hi Laura, are you planning to play Death Stranding? I could definitely play that. Yes, play 0. Okay. I have to add that to my list as well. Death Stranding is a game that has been somewhat on my radar. It's not like high up on my radar, but I am interested in trying it. Resident Evil 1 remake is great and still looks amazing. I have seen like some short clips from it. It does look good. It's got the fixed camera, hasn't it? Like it originally had. They kept the fixed camera for it, for the remake. What do you think of Cyberpunk? I haven't actually... I haven't played Cyberpunk, but I would like to try that. Dead Space or Alien Isolation, I reckon you'd enjoy, Laura. Oh, I'll have to look into those. I've heard of both of them. I'll have to look into those as well. Are your parents' family supportive of you being a content creator / influencer? They are, yeah. I remember when I uploaded my very, very first video, I kind of did it on a whim and I didn't tell them I was doing it. And when I did tell them, they were quite shocked, but not in a bad way at all. They were like, oh my God, really? So they watched it and they were very, they said they felt very proud of me because it, putting yourself on the internet, like your face, and making a video is quite a big step, I suppose, which is true. It is quite a big step to do that, to be honest. And they knew as well that I had always wanted to delve in content creation, because actually when I was about 13 or 14, so this would have been back in the very early days of YouTube still. Well, not super early, but it was when YouTube still had star ratings, right? I don't know if any of you remember that. Before there was likes and dislikes, there was star ratings. Back then, I used to make AMVs, so anime music videos, and upload them. And I would barely get any views on any of those, but I remember one of them eventually, after months and months, reached 100 views. And I was like, oh my God, it reached 100 views. And I used to make them, and I would sit there on what was the software I used again? Windows Movie Maker. I used to sit there on Windows Movie Maker, spending ages editing these, and I would upload them, and I would always show my mum before I uploaded them because I'd feel so proud of myself. And I'd say, Mum, look what I made. I was about 13 or 14 at the time, so to me I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so I would show my mum, and she isn't into anime, never has been, so she was kind of like, oh well, it's very cool, but also, you know, it's anime, so it didn't really resonate with her whatsoever. But she thought it was cool that I was making those little videos, and they were mostly like Tokyo Mew Mew ones, or there was one that I made using Smile Pretty Cure. I think it was called Glitter Force in the West, actually, but yeah, it was mostly Tokyo Mew Mew, and I would use like Cascada music, or there was this song from Toy Box called Earth, Wind, Water and Fire that I used to love, that I used for one of my AMVs. They're all gone now though, and I'm quite sad because that YouTube channel, I deleted it. I don't really know why, but I deleted it, so it's gone off of YouTube. And I don't have the AMVs on, like, I don't have them saved or backed up anywhere because they were on an old laptop. But because this was back in the day of, you know, when we all used to, or well, people who are around my age at least probably remember when we all used to, you know, sail the 7 seas to get music. and videos and stuff. I ended up with a really bad virus on that computer and I lost everything. So that is why. And I never backed them up onto an external disk drive. So I still sail. Me too sometimes. Yeah. Classic stuff. Lovely bit of LimeWire, etc. Yes. Those were the times, you know. And yeah. And then I didn't make any more videos for quite a while until I wanted to then make videos with my face in them. And I actually did try doing that, like when I was about 18 or something. So like 10 years ago, I attempted it. But I couldn't bring myself to. I recorded a video and put it into editing software, and I just could not bring myself to like even really rewatch the footage. So that never happened. So my parents knew that I'd always wanted, I guess, to kind of do content creation. But I don't think that I don't think that any of us really thought I actually would end up doing it. So that's why when I did actually upload my first video, they were pleasantly surprised and they felt very proud of me, I think. And yeah, they're supportive of it. They're happy for me to do it. They don't have any issues with it at all. They think it's good. Good days of MSN Messenger, yes. I remember MSN. I didn't really use MSN much because I was very, very young when MSN was like the big thing. When I started getting into the social media side of the internet was when Facebook really took off, and everyone at my school had a Facebook account. And they all forced me to make a Facebook account at school. They're like, you don't have Facebook? Why don't you have Facebook? Everyone has Facebook. I used to want to make little video games. That's so cool. I'd quite like to try making a video game, to be honest. I would have to learn like to code and stuff because I don't know how to do any of that, but I would love to try it. I think it would be quite fun. Do your manga have hardcovers? I do have one series that has hardcovers. Let me show you. It's this one, The Rose of Versailles. The rest are all paperbacks. I did used to have Cardcaptor Sakura, the collector's editions, which are hardcovers, but to be honest, although the manga, like the art style, is really pretty, I much prefer the anime. So I have the anime box set for Cardcaptor Sakura, and I sold the manga because I knew I probably wouldn't really reread it, and I just have the anime. But yes, The Rose of Versailles, I have the whole series. This was, retail is $38 US 99, so basically $39 US, but you can buy them cheaper than that usually. That's the retail price on the back of this, but you can find them cheaper. They are quite expensive though, but I would say they're worth it. And you get like color pages in there and stuff. Look at that. That's pretty. And also, as a really big shoujo manga fan, I had to get this because this is one of the most influential shoujo mangas of all time. It's like this was a really, really big cultural phenomenon in Japan. Let me see if I can find a really cool page. For those that don't know, The Rose of Versailles is basically the story of the French Revolution from the perspective of Marie Antoinette and a fictional character called Oscar, who is part of the Royal Guard. Look how pretty that is. And it's a series from the 70s, so it's very old, but it's so good. I really like older manga sometimes. Who is coming between Cloud and Aerith? Yes, Kirby. Kirby is between Cloud and Aerith. Marie Antoinette, didn't she get beheaded? She did, yes. Yep, she did indeed. Do you have manga in French? I don't now, but I did used to when I lived in France. And then when we moved to the UK, I sold most of it. I did have a little bit left, but I sold the remainder that I had of it and ended up just replacing it all with English manga. I didn't really buy that many manga series in French, though, even when I lived in France. I used to prefer reading in English, so I would try and buy English copies of manga. I would basically import it from the UK using Amazon UK. That's what I would do. Hey, I'm from the 70s. Sorry, when I said it's quite old, I don't mean like in terms of manga, like the history of manga, that's quite old. You know what I mean? Have you read Chihaya Furu or Bloom Into You? I've read both of those. They're both very good. Well, I haven't read Chihaya Furu, but I've watched the anime. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Bloom Into You, I've watched the anime and read the manga. I did used to have the manga, but when I had to downscale everything, that's one of the series I sold, but it is very cute. I like it a lot. Chihaya Furu, I really, really like. I'm still waiting for Kodansha to publish that, like physical copies of it. I want physical copies in English, but I don't know if we'll ever get that because, yeah, shoujo manga doesn't tend to get as much support in terms of like publication in English. Did you read Nana? Yes. So I haven't read all of Nana, but I did read most of it. I still need to finish it. Laura Marie Antoinette, I remember end of her life with guillotine. Sorry, pessimistic. Yes, she did. She died quite the tragic death, unfortunately, for her. But also, yeah. It was quite a brutal time, the French Revolution. What is your all-time favourite film? I don't know. That's quite a difficult question to answer, to be honest, because I don't really watch films that often. I like series and dramas and anime and stuff, but I'm not huge on movies, and I don't really know why that is. I think just the format, it's too short, and I like stuff that's a lot longer, because I know that episodes are shorter than the length of a film, but overall the story is a lot longer because it's across multiple episodes, and I just prefer that. So I don't really know what my favorite film is, but it's probably, maybe it's Titanic. I don't really watch Titanic that often. I'll watch it every now and then, but I do think that is a quite beautiful film, and I do really like The Matrix as well. This girl I'm going out with much prefers books over movies. Ooh. I also do prefer books to movies, to be honest. Oh, I completely forgot about Studio Ghibli for some reason, but yes, I do like Spirited Away. But my favorite Ghibli film is Kiki's Delivery Service. That's probably that's also one of my favorite films. And Terminator 2, I like that a lot as well. Films can be too disposable. You can't get attached to characters so quickly. That's kind of how I feel about films. Some films really grab you and really make an impact with the 2.5 hour runtime that they have, and then others you kind of watch it and think that was good, but they didn't have the time to leave an impact on me, at least, which I think is kind of my issue with films. And it's not a problem, like the medium itself is good, but I just don't resonate with it because of that. You know, that's why I prefer series, really. Some quality choices, thank you. But do you like Topcraft? Is that a film? If it is, I don't think I've seen that. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean. I like historical fantasy lore. Nice. Okay, I do like Pirates of the Caribbean a lot. Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of want to rewatch those. I particularly like the first 3. Do you think that you are a good-hearted person, relatively speaking? I hope so. I don't really know how to answer that necessarily, because how I consider myself to be might not be how other people view me. So even if I considered myself to be a good-hearted person, other people may or may not agree with that, you know? But I personally, I try to be a good-hearted person, yes. I want to be one, so that's what I strive towards being, is a good-hearted person. I'm also a good-hearted person, but I have hate for Galaxy. Oh god, fish and chips you're just never gonna let that go, are you? She's only a good-hearted person on stream. That is the other thing, though, actually. How do you know I'm actually like this in real life? Like, I would love to say that I am, but how do you know? You have to take my word for it. All right, I will shelve the joke for 1 month if you finish Hollow Knight in 1 month. I don't know if I can finish it in 1 month, to be honest with you. I don't know if I would be able to do that. Laura or Aerith? Like, you want me to pick between me and Aerith? I pick Aerith. Oh, Lara, you mean? It's very hard to pick between Lara and Aerith, I'm not gonna lie. Because Lara is like my childhood icon. And Aerith is a character that I have... a character that like currently really inspires me. And that I have quite a strong attachment to. Oh my god, this is very hard to pick between them two. Maybe I would say Aerith. Just because of the emotional impact. Do you still plan to make a video about Aerith? I want to, yeah. I want to make it, but I don't know. I've been struggling to sit down and film that video because yeah, I guess it's just some videos, some topics that you want to make videos about, but because they're quite close to your heart, it can be a little bit hard to do. Are you interested in space and UFOs, etc.? I do like space and all of that sort of thing. Yes, I find it interesting. Space is definitely fascinating to me. Space is big, yes. Very big. Space is massive. Did you open your magic cards? I have, yeah. They're on my shelf up there. I haven't. I hate the Milky Way galaxy too. Okay, fish and chips. Anything that has the word galaxy in it. I haven't played using my cards yet, but I have opened them. What do you think of the simulation theory? I find it very interesting, to be honest. Obviously, it's a theory. The main thing that makes me sometimes think, you know what, maybe we are in a simulation is sometimes when I see what's going on in the world, or anytime I have to listen to Trump, I will sit there and think, okay, maybe we are in a simulation because what the heck is this man? But you know. Yeah, stuff like that. You know, there's just the odd thing every now and then that makes me think, you know what, maybe we are in a simulation. That would explain a lot of things. But in terms of whether I actually think genuinely that we are in a simulation or not, I don't think we are, but I'm very open to the idea that we could be, if that makes sense. It's a fun thought exercise, but nothing more than that. Exactly, yeah. The simulation theory explains a lot. It explains, oops, need to scroll up. It explains religion and it explains science and how they coexist. That is true. Yeah, I find it interesting to think about that sort of thing. Maybe we are the aliens. Probably. You know, if other aliens exist, which I think that there's a good chance that there is extraterrestrial life out there. So we would be the aliens to them, you know, if they exist, if there's any out there. Are you religious? Do you go to church? I'm atheist personally. So no. But of course, nothing against religion, but because you asked me. Maybe we live in the Matrix, but this changes nothing. That, you know, yeah, sometimes, yeah, that would be interesting as well. Surely we can't be the only living thing. I feel like there surely has to be life out there somewhere else as well, yeah. It just makes sense. Like, you know, the universe is so big. in terms of probability, like how likely it is that there's going to be other life on another planet, with how many planets and solar systems and galaxies there are, it feels like there has to be more life out there, you know? You should watch the 2004 Battlestar Galactica if you like space and the origins of Earth and AI, etc. Interesting. Okay. Any good space games coming out? I think there are space games coming out, but I can't remember them all, to be honest, because I think there's quite a few of them. Oh. If it's just us, it's an awful waste of space. Very true, Austin. Very true. But yeah. It's just so... Oh, get out of here. There's a little fly flying around. Starfield. Oh yeah, Starfield 2.0. Mitzi's asleep again, unsurprisingly. Pragmata is a space game that's coming out. Oh yes, I remember seeing that one. That's from Capcom, isn't it, I think? I'm playing Starfield right now. Ooh, cool. Do you like it? Hi, hope you're doing good. I'm very relieved that spring is on the way. Frogs and toads are starting to appear. I photographed a few last night. Ooh, nice. I haven't seen any frogs or toads yet, but it's very nice. Yeah, it's very nice to know that nature's on its way back. It's still sunny outside right now at 4 p.m, which makes me happy because just a few weeks ago it would have been dark already. I know you said you get addicted to MMOs, but have you ever tried the old school RuneScape? I'm playing while watching the stream, a bit addicted to them, a bit addicted at the moment. Oh, interesting. I haven't tried it. I would quite like to try old school RuneScape though, I think. Potentially. Will you play FF16 before FF7 Part 3 release? Maybe. I would like to. It kind of depends because I need to finish FF9, then I want to play 12. And then I don't really know which game I'll play after that. Maybe one of the Pixel games. So one of the games from 1 to 6, maybe. Or maybe I'll play 15. I don't know. I don't really know what order I'm going to play them all in. Hey Laura, I know you're a huge Final Fantasy fan. I would love to play Final Fantasy, but I don't know where to start. Any tips or advice? Ooh. So I guess my recommendation for the first Final Fantasy game to start with would probably be Final Fantasy X. So Final Fantasy, the numbered games, none of them are like continuations of each other. They're all their own separate stories. So it doesn't matter which one you start with. If there's one in particular that catches your eye and that interests you the most, I would say start with that one. But if you don't really have one in mind specifically and you just don't really know which one to start with, I would say maybe 10 is a good starting point because it's a good mix between more modern Final Fantasy and older Final Fantasy, I think. Can you explain why FF7 Remake gets hate? I know you love it. I think... So yes, I do really like it, but I think that the main reasons are probably to do with, I mean, there are things that have been changed, and I know that one of the main things that I think that older fans of FF7 don't seem to like is the multiverse stuff going on. I don't think that they like that very much, the people that don't like it specifically. That seems to be what they dislike the most, which I can understand. I personally really like that about the game, but I understand that it's not for everyone. I've been playing OGFF7 with mods. Oh, nice. There are some very good mods, to be honest, for the OGFF7 on PC. What are some things you don't like about the remake, if any? Well, I do have some criticisms, to be honest. So I do really, really like the remake trilogy, but I do also, especially as I replay the remake trilogy, I do find myself kind of agreeing that it is potentially a bit over bloated. I don't know whether splitting it into 3 parts really was necessarily the best idea. I respect it. It's very ambitious. There are some parts that are a little bit bloated, though. It does mean that if you want to replay it, it's a lot of hours. Trilogy, you've never played the unreleased 3rd game. Yeah, true. So when I say trilogy, I mean the first 2 games in the trilogy, because the 3rd game isn't out yet. But when I replay those 2, especially after playing the OG, there is some stuff that I think, was that really necessary to add in? Because it does add a bit of bloat. But I don't dislike any of the stuff they've added in. So I don't know. But I do kind of find myself thinking maybe it wasn't that necessary to make the remake trilogy so much longer. As for other criticisms, I don't think I really have other criticisms, to be honest. I might grow to have more criticisms as I go through and replay Remake and Rebirth before part 3 comes out. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to add some criticisms to that. I was adamant OG would always be my favorite, but Rebirth was better than I thought it'd be. I was literally smiling through half of it. Nice. Yeah, for me, Rebirth is just, it's so good. And I can understand criticisms of like that it has too much side content, but for me, it didn't have too much. I was happy to play through all of the side content on that game. The problem is it takes 5 years between sequels, and by that time I forget most of the game. True. That is, I suppose, one of the other criticisms I have, is that because it's split into 3 parts, it means you have to wait quite a while between games. And for some people, that can kind of kill the hype a little bit, kill their interest in continuing the franchise, potentially. Kind of depends on the individual. So I can understand that perspective. Personally, though, yeah, I really like the remake trilogy so far. We'll see how it ends with part 3. I'm very curious what they're going to do there, and whether they are actually going to stick quite close to the events of the original, or if they're going to stray from it a lot, because I think part 3 is where we're really going to see, like, either they're going to stick pretty closely and be quite faithful to the original, or they're going to, like, there's going to be a lot of changes. I feel like it could go either one of those, down either one of those two paths, to be honest, with part 3. Do you watch part 3 theories? I do, yes. There's a lot of interesting theories out there. And I don't really know which theory I lean towards the most in terms of what I think is going to happen. To be honest. I need to go back and play FF7 Rebirth, never finished it. Yes, Andy, you do. Need to finish that. What title would you like to see for part 3? I don't know. I can't remember what titles other people have come up with. So we've got Remake, Rebirth. What else could there be? I guess it won't be Reunion. It could be Reborn. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it could be Requiem, but I don't know. I don't think Requiem refurbished. Oh my god. Yeah, Reunion was the PSP remaster of Crisis Core. So yeah, I don't think they'll reuse Reunion. Refurbished, that's funny. Reanimated. Oh, Return. That's possible. Return is... I think Return is a pretty likely one. Recycled. Recycled. Oh god. Could you imagine if it ended up coming out being called FF7 Recycled? Why wouldn't it be Reunion? That's the centerpiece of the story. I think mostly it probably wouldn't be Reunion because they've already titled, where is it? Crisis Core, FF7, Reunion. If I hold it like really close to the camera, it goes all blurry. But this is, they called this Reunion, which I know it's not the mainline FF7, but I just don't think that if they recently released something that's part of the FF7 universe with the subtitle Reunion that they would reuse it for part 3. I don't think they would. Even though it makes perfect sense for them to use that, I don't think they will. I could be wrong. They could end up calling it that, which I think would lead to a lot of confusion for people. I started with FF7 Rebirth, even though I've never played Remake. Let's just say I was quite confused about some of the things happening in the game, especially surrounding Sephiroth. I can imagine that must have been pretty confusing, yeah. Have you since gone back and played Remake, or still like just Rebirth? You wanted to make Rebirth Reunion but couldn't use it. Oh, really? I still need to get started on FF7 Rebirth. Yes. Not yet, but I will do that later. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because, yeah, if you play Remake, then yeah, Rebirth will make a lot more sense. There will be some things that happen in Remake and Rebirth that might be a tad confusing anyway, because I don't think you have to play the OG7 before Remake or Rebirth, but there are advantages if you do play that first, because they are doing some stuff in the Remake trilogy where they're changing things. And there's a bit of sort of a meta thing going on that implies that there's forces that are trying to keep the original story going as it did in the original timeline, if you will, while the characters are trying to veer away from that. So you kind of get more satisfaction in a way if you've played the OG for that. But you don't have to play it. That's kind of like an extra layer you get out of the remake if you've played the OG. I did also, when I was playing it myself... Oh, thank you for becoming a member, Bart the Gamer. Because when I played Remake, I hadn't played the original FF7, so I didn't know what the original story was. But even though I hadn't played the original, I could tell that there was some sort of kind of meta trying to change fate stuff going on, because it's quite heavily implied throughout the whole game and through Rebirth. So, yeah. And then after Remake, Rebirth wasn't out yet, so I then went and played the OG before playing Rebirth. FF7, remember the first two. I remember how long I waited for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 after the first game. Yeah, sometimes there's really long gaps between games, isn't there? And it can be hard, because we can get pretty excited. And then there's long gaps. And it is quite hard to wait sometimes, especially if you're very excited for it. What do you think about really OG fans, people who played since the OG? Are they a bit gatekeepy? It depends. Some of them are, but I've come across a lot of them that don't seem to be. Like, there's a lot of OG fans that like the remake trilogy and that are happy that there's new people getting into Final Fantasy and in particular FF7. And then there's some fans from the, like, that were there from the release of the original that really don't like the remake trilogy, which is fair, and who also don't seem to be too keen on the, like, although fairly small, but still, you know, fairly, I guess, prominent new wave of fans that are coming in. So some of them are a bit gatekeepy, but that's kind of just the nature of anything that's quite popular. I think always has some gatekeepers, I think. And I'm not keen on gatekeepers. I don't really understand the mentality behind it. I do understand having a lot of love for something and wanting to protect it and kind of seeing it in, like, revering it in a way and wanting to preserve it and all of that. But I don't think gatekeeping, like, you know, for example, I'm a big fan of the classic Tomb Raider games and Tomb Raider Legend Anniversary. I never finished Underworld, but I presume I would like that as well if I now went and played it. But I don't feel a need to gatekeep people that became fans during the Survivor trilogy and say, no, that is the wrong Lara. That is not the real Lara. You're not valid as a fan. You're not a real fan of Tomb Raider if you don't like the OGs. Because that's just, like, who am I to say that anyway? I prefer the classic games and the Legend trilogy. I say that even though I haven't played the Survivor trilogy, but I do kind of know what I will be getting into when I play it. But that's just me. That's just my point of view and my opinion, and their point of view and their opinion isn't wrong. It's just a different perspective. So, yeah. And I don't want to be a gatekeeper, so I try hard not to be, because gatekeeping I find gatekeeping is cringe. Just let people... Exactly. I agree, David. I find it cringy. It's kind of unnecessary. Just let people enjoy things. I can tolerate the remake, but OG is the GOAT. That is fair, Carl. I love the OG as well. So yeah, the OG is so good. The OG FF7. It's an amazing game. I would love to see the Laura Underworld redemption. I will redeem myself. I will play that game. I really don't know why I never played through Underworld. I'm a fake Tomb Raider fan. I'm gatekeeping myself. Gatekeeping just has so much negativity. I agree. I think people should just let people enjoy things, you know? Do you have cat or dog? If yes, show it. I do have a cat. She's currently sleeping though. And I actually disturbed her earlier on the stream, so I'll have to leave her alone. I don't want to disturb her again. The only time I felt like I was playing Tomb Raider when playing the Survivor Trilogy was playing the DLCs and challenge tombs in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Oh, interesting. Okay. I do think I've heard some other Tomb Raider fans say that, actually. I have played all Tomb Raider games, all 9 mainline games. Oh, cool. Did you like all of them? How old is Mitzi? I think she's 5. Did you see there was an announcement about God of War Trilogy remake? I did see that, yeah. That is pretty cool. And that makes me wonder if I should wait for those remakes or just play the OGs. They were PS2 games, weren't they, I think? Or I could play both. Because I've been kind of meaning to get into God of War. I know I could just start with the more recent games that came out, I think. If I wanted to do that. Play the OGs. Okay. Do you know her birthday? I don't. We know roughly what time of year she was born, but we don't know what her actual birthday is. Not all, and I have to correct myself. It's not 9, it's 12. My apologies. No problem. No worries. You see, I couldn't remember how many mainline Tomb Raider games there are either, so... Congrats on your partnership. Thank you, Eternal CMO. You could play both, but you are not ready for Kratos' violence. Ooh. God of War 1, 2, and 3 are best in my opinion. Don't like the look of the new ones. Okay. Do you prefer viewers to watch on Twitch or YouTube? I don't mind, to be honest. Whichever platform you prefer to watch on, just watch on that one. I don't mind. Three is the peak of the series. Ooh. Well, it's good to hear they kept getting better then. Laura, how do I get into games that aren't Final Fantasy and RE? Well, I don't know. I guess what you can really do is just try other games and see how you feel about them. Have you played Jak and Daxter? Great games. I'm also playing through Tomb Raider 1 on OG PS1. Oh, nice. I love Tomb Raider 1. But I haven't played Jak and Daxter, but my brother used to play those, and I used to sit there and watch him play them. Same with Ratchet and Clank and the Sly Cooper games. I really want to play all three of those. As in, I know that there's trilogies for all three. I want to play all three of those trilogies. And I'll probably do it on stream because I know that I will like those games. I remember watching my brother playing them, and I really, really, really wanted to play them myself, but because they were his games, he wouldn't let me when we were kids. He didn't like me playing his games. So I didn't get to play them, but I really wanted to. Sly Cooper is incredibly good and still holds up today. I really want to play them. I'm not too familiar with Twitch. Are there any other milestones to achieve, or is partnership the main one? I think you can become a Twitch ambassador, but I don't really know how that works. And I think that's a very small selection of people that become ambassadors. I don't really know much about that, to be honest. But other than that, on Twitch, there's also something called the Plus program, which I think I have to reach a certain amount of sub points for 3 consecutive months, and then I will be entered into level 1 of the Plus program. I think it's 100 points I have to maintain for 3 months, and then I'd be entered into the Plus program. And when you are entered into the Plus program, then you earn more through Twitch revenue, because at the moment, if you're an affiliate or partner, the revenue is split 50-50 between the streamer and Twitch. And then if you enter the Plus program, it goes up, and the split yes, there we go. Adam has put it in chat. 100 points for a 60-40 revenue split, 300 points for 70-30. There we go. And for reference, YouTube, on the other hand, from the get-go, if you become monetized, the split from the start is 70-30. So YouTube takes 30%, and the YouTube content creator gets 70%. Whereas Twitch, it starts off of 50-50, and you can build your way up to earn more through the Plus program. Is there an achievement like Twitch partner you can get on YouTube streaming? There isn't. So YouTube works quite differently. There isn't like a YouTube partner achievement or anything, but I don't know if you've noticed there's some fairly big YouTubers that have over 100 subscribers that have a little tick next to their names. I guess that's somewhat similar to Twitch partner, but to achieve that, I think you need a minimum of 100,000 subscribers, and I don't know if there's other requirements, and you have to apply for it. And I don't really know what that means, if there's any benefits for that or any of that stuff. I think it's pretty much just a tick next to your name that means that YouTube has kind of verified you as a channel that they're willing to verify. Twitch ads are horrendously intrusive. Twitch ads are pretty intrusive, admittedly, yeah. Is my Twitch chat still working? I think it probably is, but I'm just going to check. Am I still logged into Twitch? Yes, I'm still logged into Twitch on here with my multi-chat, so... I've noticed both streamers have experimented with ads that play on the side of a stream, though. Wish they'd stick with that moving forward. Yes, I agree. Twitch ads are quite intrusive, unfortunately. I do hope that they can try and implement some ads that are not as intrusive, so like on the side of the screen or something like that, you know, so that it doesn't disrupt the viewer experience as much. 100k, geez, that's a lot. It is a lot, isn't it? Twitch chat reporting in. Okay, good. It definitely still works then. Thank you, Bart the Gamer. How much screen time you have and care for your eyes? I do get a lot of screen time, but to be honest, I was working office jobs previously anyway, so I used to get a lot. I used to be in front of a screen like constantly. Anyway, 5 days a week for about 7.5 hours, and then over the weekend I would probably also play video games. In the evening I would play video games as well, so a lot of screen time. To be honest, I might even get less screen time now than I did when I was working an office job, I think. Why not wear protective glasses? I actually have some. They're like corrective glasses because I have a prescription, but I don't really need to wear them, to be honest, because I have myopia, which means I'm short-sighted. But anything that's within like my arm's length is not blurry. It's only when I go beyond that it is a little bit blurry. So I don't really need to wear glasses at all unless I'm going outside and there's stuff that's really far away. So if I'm sitting in front of a screen, for example, that's fairly close. So I don't wear glasses when I do that because it's not blurry at all. And it kind of feels a little bit unnecessary. But I do have like a protective, I think it's like an anti-blue light film on those glasses. So maybe it would be a good thing to wear them from time to time when I'm sitting in front of a screen. I used to wear them all the time at work. Because even though I would be in front of a screen, there would be times where I would have to go into the workshop or whatever, or the store where we were keeping stock of things, and, you know, had to do things that required me looking further away, so I wasn't literally constantly in front of a desk. Do you wear them for driving? Yes, I do wear them for driving. I've worked in offices for 9 years and changed to working remotely. I'd never go back. It's much easier to take eye breaks and so much better for my mental health. I know it's not for everyone though. That's good, Jurassic Sap. I'm happy that it's helping you then with your mental health and stuff, because yeah, office work is... I didn't hate it, apart from my last job, which if you've heard me talk about that, you know that I did not like my previous job at all. I mean, to be honest, I never liked any of my jobs. I think my favorite job I had was actually a job where I was working remotely. And I much preferred that. It's more chill and a bit more flexible. And yeah. Having to deal with people can be a little bit of a nightmare as well. It depends on your colleagues and the work environment. But I've been very unfortunate for some reason with my work environments, where for some reason I've often been in offices with either unpleasant people, or it's just been quite a tense atmosphere. Yeah, blue light glasses don't work. No science behind them. Oh, really? Oh, never mind then. Can you see yourself realistically working a job again? I mean, yeah, I know that I can do it. So if I had to go back into like traditional work, I know that I'm capable of doing it, and I would do it, but I would rather not. That's not what I want to be doing with my life, you know? I've never had a job longer than 3 months. Man, that's rough. It can be so hard sometimes. Because the other thing for me as well, now I was fortunate in the sense that I've for some reason have always been someone that's never struggled too much to find a job, but I could never hold down a job for longer than a year. And well, actually no, because my last job was for over a year. That was nearly 2 years, but all of the jobs before that, I could never hold them down for longer than a year. And it wasn't to do with me, really. It was like COVID. The company would have financial problems and had to make a bunch of people redundant. All that sort of thing would be going on with literally all of the jobs I was at prior to the most recent traditional job I had last year. And yeah, so it was very strange. It's almost like the universe was saying, no, don't work a traditional job. Because I just kept being made redundant from jobs and it was starting to get annoying. But yeah, 3 months, that is hard. It is so hard when you, like the transition period, when you have to, when you leave a job, either voluntarily or you're made redundant or you're fired or whatever happens. And then you're kind of thrown into the deep end and you have to find another job. That really sucks. That is quite a stressful time, especially if it's happening very regularly. What work would you do in job? Is it boring? It was all administrative work. So depending on the job, like the last job I had, the last office job I had was in an engineering department at a factory. So the engineering department would maintain the machines and the equipment in the factory. And as the assistant to the engineering administrator, I essentially would have to keep stock of everything that was kept in the workshop to make sure that engineers had everything they needed, that we had all the necessary parts for the machines. So if engineers used any, me and the engineering administrator that I was assisting would have to replace those parts, order more in, you know, make sure that the stock was booked out properly. So we'd have to like count the stores as well to make sure that everything that is supposed to be in the stores was actually in the stores. Doing things like sending emails, you know, all of the typical admin stuff. Typical admin work. Doesn't sound like a horrible job. The work itself wasn't horrible, but the person that I was the assistant for was hard to work with. The work itself wasn't too bad. I didn't enjoy it. Like, it was very boring, I'm not going to lie, especially because you'd have to do it every day. It was a lot of the same stuff all the time. I'd be like, oh, has everything been booked out? Let me just check it. Oh, look, the engineers have forgotten to book this out again. Oh, no, I'm going to have to fix that. Let me go count, make sure that there is the correct number in there. Yep, there is. That's good. Okay, what about the next thing? Oh, I bet that doesn't look right. I counted the stores 2 weeks ago and there was loads of those left. So I don't believe that after they've booked that out, there's only one left. So let me just go and count it again, make sure that there's the correct number in there. Oh yeah, it looks like that they didn't book it out correctly because as I thought, there's like loads of them left. Okay then. And you know, it's all of that sort of thing. It was frankly quite boring. So I didn't enjoy it. But I don't think many people enjoy their jobs. So, and that's just the reality, unfortunately. And I was like, well, no one really enjoys their jobs. So, you know, whatever. And I would probably still be there now doing that job if my colleague that I had, because, you know, like I said, I was an engineering administrative assistant, and I was assisting the engineering administrator, and the engineering administrator was a very hard individual to work with. And so I quit because of them. I enjoy my job. That's good then, Dunkable. I'm very happy for you. Anyone that enjoys their job, I am genuinely very happy for you, because it's so hard to find jobs that you like. I like that you are here now, but maybe with time you will go back to office work. Life can change. Yeah, you never know. You never know. So in a sense, your colleague has allowed you to chase your dream. In a way, yeah. That is true, the bake. So you see, in a way, I should be grateful towards them, I think. That's the other thing, though. I don't hold grudges against them, because I don't think I never thought that any of it was malicious. I never thought of it in that way, and I try to see positive things in everything that happens. So although I found the job boring, and at the time when all of this was happening, I was extremely stressed and unhappy. In a way, it turned out really well. So they indirectly helped you take the plunge into your current gig. Exactly. And it's very strange, because I didn't have any plans really to do YouTube like around that time, at least, because although I wanted to have a go at it while I was a teenager, when I then entered my 20s and started working normal jobs, I didn't think that I would do anything like this at that point. I kind of just thought, well, I'm now part of the workforce, and I'm working for a company just like everyone else does, and this is just the normal way of life. And I didn't really see myself doing anything else. And I think, in a way, what happened while I was at that job and working with this person really pushed me to it was very subconscious. This was not like me consciously thinking through any of this. It was kind of like I thought, well, what is there to lose if I make a video and upload it to YouTube? What is there to lose if I try something different? How does this stream have more viewers than the game stream? Does it? Does it have more viewers at the moment? I actually don't know. Oh, well, yeah. I think chatting streams do tend to be quite popular, though. No risk, no reward. Exactly, Bart the Gamer. I think in life, sometimes you need to just try different things and take some risks every now and then. And I'm not a huge risk taker, but I think I learned through this that actually taking risks is probably something I should try doing more often. Because I was never a risk taker. I was like, I need to try and go down the safest path. That's what I was doing. Do you have second job? No, my only job at the moment is streaming and making videos on YouTube. It was a quarter life crisis. It was. It was genuinely like some kind of quarter life crisis. It was so strange, but I'm kind of grateful for it now. Even if streaming and content creation doesn't work out for me in the long run, I'm very grateful that I've done any of this at all in the first place. Your second channel is second job. Exactly, that is true, yeah. Yeah, even if this doesn't work out long term, I'm grateful that I've even tried it. I will never regret attempting it. That's the thing. Did you quit your full-time job to become a streamer? No. So what happened was this job I had, about a week and a half before I quit that job, I uploaded a YouTube video, my very first YouTube video, and I wasn't planning to like become a YouTuber, if that makes sense. I had no thoughts at the time of streaming, and basically I just quit that job because for months and months up to that point I was having a lot of problems with I was very unhappy in that job, and my colleague, who I was the assistant of, so we would sit next to each other every day, all day, was very unpleasant to work with, and it was causing me a lot of stress, and I was having panic attacks at the mere thought of having to go into work. So I realized that I needed to leave. And after speaking about it with my boss, we tried to fix the situation with my colleague that I was working with every day. Unfortunately, that didn't work, and our working relationship got even worse after that because they were not happy with the fact that I had spoken with my boss. I did try and address it with them first before going through my boss, which also didn't work. So I ended up having to leave because our working relationship became absolutely terrible and I was their assistant. So that just wasn't going to work. So I had to quit. I left that job. I quit. I was like, I'm not doing this. And my intention was to just get another job, another like office job of some sort. That's what the plan was initially. And then while I was out of work, I was just making videos. I then started streaming. And then now I'm at a point where I'm thinking, maybe I'll just see if YouTube and streaming can be my full-time job. So essentially, YouTube and streaming are my full-time jobs at the moment, and we'll just see how it goes. That boss sounds unreasonable. Well, my boss was genuinely trying to see if the working relationship between me and this colleague could be fixed, right? I think my boss was... I don't think anything my boss did was wrong. It was, unfortunately, my working relationship with this colleague just was not repairable. So it was a case of either I would have to go in and just keep dealing with it, but it was already really making me like really, really, really stressed and anxious all the time. So that for me wasn't an option because I had to think about myself. Obviously. And so the options in my head were leaving or seeing if I could make a case for this other person to have to leave. It was like either I'm leaving or they're leaving. That's like where things are at the moment. And I ended up resigning because, yeah. Did you ever go off at your coworker? I never like went off at her or got pissed off with her, really. I would basically, she would say things to me that were genuinely out of line, and I would just be so shocked I wouldn't know how to respond, and I would get upset, and like I'd have to go to the bathrooms, the toilets at work, and cry in there for 15 minutes or something before I could come back after I had composed myself. That's what it was like. Sure, but it's kind of his job to make sure relationships don't get in the way of the work and to facilitate civil, safe work environment. That is true. Yeah. I think, unfortunately, it was a very complicated situation for him to have to try and deal with as well as my boss. So, yeah. Did she get personal? Do you mean like she was making insults towards me, essentially? But the other thing is, I didn't have like evidence of this that I could show to HR or anything. So it would have been my word against hers, you know? I never know how to respond to insults. Me too. I would just sit there and be completely shocked, because she would do things like passive aggressively insult my intelligence, which I felt was so out of line. I mean, she was better at the job than me because she had been there way, way longer than me. So obviously she was a lot better at it than me. I don't know. I mean, maybe I wasn't as good at my job as she thought I should be, and she found it frustrating. But either way, that it was out of line for her to be insulting my intelligence. Like, that is just unprofessional behavior. And it's not going to help me work better if I'm being insulted, is it? Maybe that works for some people. I think in most cases, most people are not going to do better at their jobs if you're insulting them and making them think that they're idiots. It doesn't work for me. You seem to me to have that nice calm demeanor, if that makes sense. Thank you. Maybe I'm a bit too calm. That's the thing. I would never stand up for myself because I just didn't really know what to say or what to do in the situation. I would just be completely gobsmacked. I'd be like, oh my God. Am I just really bad at my job maybe? And I don't know. I know that I wasn't really bad at my job because when the times that she was on holiday or off sick, sorry, I know that I was able to do the job, and my boss and the engineers in the department seemed to think that I was doing fine. So I don't know. Just whilst you're talking about this, watching your videos about your experience helped give me the push to leave my current toxic job environment and go back to my old job where they're much kinder. Oh, that's good, the Lanky Crisp. I hope that it's going well then back at your old job. Yeah, I wouldn't wish being in a toxic work environment on anyone, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people feel like they need to stay there. And I felt like I needed to stay there for months and months because I thought, well, that's just how things are. Sometimes you have to deal with unpleasant people. And then eventually it got to a point where I thought, is that really right though? Like, do I have to just put up with this? Because it was genuinely getting to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. So so yeah. Your experience as being new on a job position can be absolutely horrendous if you have to engage with awful people. Like, it affects the way you go into new jobs too. It sucks. Yes. That is very true. Work environments can be, in some cases, very unpleasant. I would argue that there will always be unpleasant people in the workplace. If you expect society and other people to change for you, then you are going to be disappointed. I mean, I agree with that. Which is why I left. I was like, well, this isn't going to change, and they're not going to change, because why would they? So I'm going to leave because I can't deal with it. And I genuinely feel no shame in that. I don't care. I couldn't do it. And so I left. The only thing I will say is that I probably should have stood up to this colleague more. Maybe that would, maybe that would have helped, but I don't know. Then you'll be leaving for the rest of your life, not trying to attack you. I didn't leave any of my other jobs. It was just that one. All of the jobs I had before that were fine. I had some colleagues, sometimes we had mild disagreements. They weren't always super pleasant, but they weren't horrible to work with, and it wasn't affecting my mental health. So those were fine. It was just the last job that I had. How long is it what you left office work, can I ask? I left my last job in March of 2025. You know what, though? I bet she is still there. You've moved on and you're happy, and that's what matters. I agree. She might still be there. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she is, because, you know, she was very good at her job. Don't get me wrong. Nora, focus on the things you are doing great now. Learning of the experiences is part of the process. I agree. How does unemployment work in the UK? How can a person afford to not work for a full year? Well, there's unemployment benefits, but personally, for me, I was on unemployment benefits for the first few months because I was looking for work. I didn't have the intention of not working. I was looking for work. So I was on unemployment benefits until my YouTube revenue got... basically, they allow you to be on unemployment benefits in the UK until you reach a certain amount of monthly revenue from other stuff. Like, for me, it was YouTube. And I got taken off of unemployment benefits, was it September last year? Maybe August, because I was earning too much from YouTube for me to stay on unemployment benefits. And I also had savings in my bank account, so that's how I've been able to, although I'm not unemployed, I'm technically self-employed now because I'm earning money through YouTube and streaming and stuff. Well, I genuinely think you will grow big. Keep going. Thank you. So you're creating content that provides you an income. I wouldn't portray that as not working. Yes, exactly. That is what I'm doing. I'm creating content. I'm not unemployed. I am self-employed. I considered myself unemployed at the beginning when I was doing this because I wasn't earning any money from it. Then I was, but a very, very tiny amount. And it's gradually been building up. So I've like gradually had to come to terms with the fact that, oh, well, I'm self-employed. So that's why for a while I was referring to myself as unemployed, but now I don't, because that doesn't feel like the correct term to refer to myself with, because I'm earning money through doing this. So I'm not unemployed, I'm self-employed. Do you have tattoos? If not, what would you get? I don't have any tattoos, but I do quite like tattoos. I have considered getting like a little tattoo of something, but if I was to get a tattoo, it would have to be of something that meant a lot to me. And because, you know, it's permanent, or it's meant to be permanent. I know that tattoo removals are like a thing, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would get if I was to get a tattoo. Living at home, aren't you? Mistake me if I'm wrong. Yes, I do still live with my parents. So does my brother. That's part of the reason as well as to how I've been able to, well, like I said, I'm not unemployed. How I've managed to quit that job and be in this current situation. I'm a self-employed wedding photographer. It's great, especially the food you get doing each wedding. Oh, nice. Yeah, I imagine that must be pretty good for the food that you get at weddings. Zelda shield neck tattoo. That's pretty cool. Oh, not having rent and utility monthly payment is a huge help. You're lucky to have that kind of support from your family. It does help a lot. I mean, I don't pay any rent and I don't have a mortgage, but I do pay towards the household bills like electricity, food, all that sort of thing. I do pay towards it because I do live here, so I am expected to contribute towards that. But yes, not having rent and not having mortgage and all of that really, really helps a lot. And also, I only pay towards a portion of the bills, which means that, yeah, quite a low amount of money coming out. Mitzi face tattoo. I do love Mitzi, but I think a Mitzi face tattoo might be a bit much. I'm in the same position as for the things I contribute for. I think that there's probably an increasing amount of people around my age and younger that are probably are either in this situation or will probably find themselves in a similar situation as they get older, because the housing market is ridiculous. Even when I was working a full-time job for someone else and had a stable, steady income, I could not afford to move out. So Big Beard Theory, thank you for the super chat. Hey Laura, any tips for learning how to edit content? Would love to start creating content this year, but no idea how to edit. Well, I mean, I don't really do that much with my editing. I've been using CapCut. I plan to switch to, what is that software called? Because I've installed it, but it doesn't currently work on here for some reason. DaVinci Resolve. So whatever software you use doesn't really matter, to be honest, but I pretty much just cut. I don't really do anything else. I film whatever it is that I want to film. It doesn't really matter if there's pauses where you, I don't know, where there's long pauses where you're thinking, because I do that a lot while I'm filming. I'll sit there and I'll be thinking for ages about what to say next, because I don't really script my videos. So for some people, scripting might help a lot. But if you don't, and you want to do unscripted videos, then even if there's like long drawn out like pauses or things like that, it doesn't matter. So what I do is I record it, then I put it into my editing software, and I just cut any long pauses out, or any stuff that I think, you know what, actually I went on a whole tangent there that's completely unnecessary, so I'll cut that bit out. Anything like that, I'll just cut it out. And I add some music. I don't really do anything fancy. I think pretty much anyone could. The editing that I do pretty much is very easy to do. Not on your face? Oh, sorry. I don't know why I thought you meant the Mitzi face tattoo would be on my face. I thought you meant okay, so you mean like a tattoo of Mitzi's face somewhere. I don't know. That makes more sense. Okay, sorry, some cat. A tattoo of Mitzi's face on my face would be something, wouldn't it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I would necessarily get that. A tattoo of Mitzi's face, like even if it was just a little one, like on my collarbone or something. I don't know. Do you have any tips for capturing game footage from older consoles like a PS2? I feel like I need a capture card and play the game through a laptop, maybe. Well, I don't have any equipment to do that with, but I do know that there's upscalers you can get for old consoles that also act as capture cards. There's the RetroTink, I think. I don't know which one specifically, or if they all have capture cards in them. I think you can just use a PS2 to HDMI adapter, yes, like Marco said. You can use a PS2 to HDMI adapter. I actually have one, but then that would capture the footage in its native quality if you were to then use a capture card, like a normal capture card for that. Which isn't necessarily an issue. It just depends on what you're going for. If you want it to be the authentic resolution, then you don't need a RetroTink. You can just use, I don't know if my capture card would work with that. I assume it would, because it's got HDMI in. So yeah, if you had a PS2 to HDMI adapter, you could probably use that. Yeah, if you wanted it to be like much better quality, you would need to get some sort of like a RetroTink or something, which I'm considering getting one at some point, because I would like to play PS2 games on stream on my PS2. I think that would be really fun, but I would want to get a RetroTink for that so that it looks a lot nicer on modern screens. What about piercings? I have like the standard normal piercings on both my ears, you know, one I don't know if I'd ever get more piercings. I have thought about getting like a second one on both ears, but I never have. But I think I quite like piercings as well. Sup, always wanted to ask if you want to get more into PC gaming. We got a ton of cool indie games, especially with next fest tomorrow and heap of demos. PC gaming is something I might get into more as time goes on, maybe, but at the moment I mostly just game on console and I don't really have that much of a desire to game on PC. But I think, I don't know, like if it was to play certain, I know that there's a lot of indie games that are only available on PC, for example. So for like indie games, I would probably have to get more into PC gaming if I wanted to play more indie games. Will you be doing anything special to celebrate Twitch partnership? I've thought about it. Like, I'm doing this stream today, but I've considered, I don't know, maybe I'll just, with my family, we'll just eat a cake to celebrate or something. I don't know. I've been considering if I maybe should treat myself to something as well, but I don't really know. I'm off to bed 3 a.m. Australian time. Thank you for being here, Cygnus. Have a nice evening. Well, actually, 3 a.m. very late, so I hope you sleep well. What are your favourite kind of earrings? I like studs, and I like little dangly ones. I can show you my favourite earrings, just a sec. So these are my absolute favorite earrings. I would show you just one of them. They're hoops with a little heart on the end. Oh god, it's all blurry. That sucks. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's a little hoop earring and it's got a pink heart on the end. And I bought these way before I got into Final Fantasy, but I don't know, something about this reminds me of Aerith. So now I like them even more. These are from Pandora. I can't remember how long I've had them, but for quite a while. I think I got them for one of my birthdays. My mum bought them for me. And because I'd specifically seen them in a Pandora shop and said, wow, those are so pretty. They match Aerith's outfit. Exactly, yeah. Dairy Milk or Galaxy Chocolate? Ooh, the great debate continues. I prefer Galaxy, personally, but I do really, really like Dairy Milk. All right, it's earring chat. I'm off now. See you guys. Same Galaxy for the win. Uh-oh, Fish and Trips isn't happy. You prefer... Oh my god. You prefer stop eating Lederach chocolate or never play FF7 Part 3? I will choose to stop eating Lederach chocolate. Yeah. I will just not eat that chocolate anymore. I would be very upset with that, but I would still have Galaxy, I would still have Dairy Milk, and I would rather that than to never get to play FF7 Part 3. Dairy Milk is better in large quantities. Galaxy gets sickly fast. You do make a good point there, David. That is true. I'm just saying hi. Hi, Cartoon That. Thanks for joining the stream. Haven't had Galaxy chocolate in ages. Well, if you eat dairy milk instead, then I think dairy milk and Galaxy are very close in terms of like how good they are, to be honest. Thoughts on Xbox new CEO? To be honest, I haven't really looked into this that much. All I know is, so whatever the previous CEO's name is, he's retired or resigned or whatever. And I know that the new CEO, oh, Phil Spencer. Okay, so Phil Spencer, yes, he's left. And the new CEO, to my understanding, is like has a history of working in AI. So, and no history with working in the gaming industry. So that sounds like perfect. I'm being sarcastic. That yeah. I don't even know what to say about that, to be honest with you. It sounds like a big mistake, but I could be wrong. All we can do is hope that something good comes out of that. But I don't know. I'm not too I'm not too optimistic about it. Yes, the new CEO has a very like their career history is mostly in AI technology. You're so diplomatic. I mean, that is genuinely just how I feel, though. I'd like to try and be optimistic about it, but I don't think I can. I just, you know, if you have someone that's going into the gaming industry as the CEO of a company and they have no experience with the gaming industry, but they're the CEO of Xbox, and most of their work history, career history is within AI, I don't know. And the other thing we know how I feel about AI. I'm very skeptical of AI. I don't think that it's yes, it probably has some good uses, but in general, I don't want AI in video games, really. It's I would rather have real people working on video games. I want AI to take my job. That's the thing, though, is if AI takes over everyone's jobs, what happens to us? It's going to end up being something, guys. I'm telling you, we're heading towards a real dystopia. I have no friggin' idea what's going to happen with, like, all of this with AI. I want AI to cure diseases. If AI can do that, then that will be great. Yes, I definitely don't want AI for art. That's mostly what I mean. And I also don't feel great about AI taking over entire industries and replacing jobs, because people need money to survive. So if there's very limited jobs because AI is replacing most of them, then how are people going to make money? I know that there's talk of like universal basic income, but would that actually get implemented? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen so much Galaxy talk in such a short span of time. Yeah, I don't know what it is about my live streams, but Galaxy chocolate is brought up a lot. AI cannot take over my job that I do. That is good then. I do hope that it can't and that you will remain employed in that case. Unless you don't want to remain employed. Of course. Musk says working will be an option in years to come. We'll see. We'll see if that is true or not. It feels very utopic, and I would like that, but I don't know. I truly believe that AI is not going to be around for much longer. I do think the AI bubble is going to burst to some extent, and we just won't be using it as much for as many things. Or at least I hope not, because when it comes to like, I'm tired of seeing so much AI slop content every time I go online, to be honest. That's my main thing. And AI replacing real people's art. I don't like that. I can't stand him. I vote we launch him on a one-way trip to Mars. Me too. RAM in computers is going to be cheap again, though. Yeah, I don't know what the latest news is with like RAM prices and all of that sort of thing, but I really do hope that that is true. I hope that RAM prices go back down and that we continue to be able to own our own PCs and hardware, and that not everything becomes cloud streaming and all of that sort of thing. It's like I am very much against the you will own nothing and be happy future. I don't like that. Or did you hear about that 100 terabyte hard disk drive that's as fast as an SSD? Oh, I didn't hear about that, no. The AI bubble won't burst because the primary customers are governments. I mean, AI is probably going to always be here, but I'm hoping that like the average person like you and me just will hopefully reach a point where we're just not using it as much. And hopefully we won't see as many people making AI art and AI slop content, and there'll be more appreciation for real art and artistry made by real people, and that will be valued, because I think it's very valuable. You know, especially like, I don't like AI artwork. I would rather have a piece of artwork that's been drawn, illustrated, painted, whatever it is, by a real person. Yeah. I'm just not into any of that stuff. I don't know you, so I don't follow you, but randomly found you on Twitch main page, read your title, and came to congratulate you on partner, so congratulations. Thank you, Kirby's Planet. I like your username. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Oh, thank you for the Prime sub. Winter Torrent, thank you. But wow, so I was on the homepage on Twitch. Interesting. That's cool, but also mildly scary. Exposure. I will make a movie with AI called The Galaxy Chocolate Factory, and you know how it goes. Okay, fish and chips. The Galaxy Chocolate hatred is really something, isn't it? Fish and chips will not stop. Quick, stop talking about AI. Amazon is watching. Oops. Oh, another Prime sub. Thank you, Grim Valis, for the Prime sub. What do you guys think about like the dead internet theory as well? I find that interesting. Like, I know for a fact that no, the internet is not dead, and not everyone or everything you see on the internet is bots, because I know that I'm not a bot. For example, but I find it quite interesting. Like, I feel like there is more and more bots on the internet, though, that's for sure. Hello, Laura. Is it okay to buy games on multiple platforms such as PlayStation and Xbox? Yeah, of course. If you want to buy games on multiple platforms, then do it. Nothing wrong with that. She's not a bot. Say I hate Galaxy to verify. You will not be able to make me do that, fish and chips. No. I love Galaxy chocolate. I know for sure there's bots. Or just a second. I'm not a bot. I'm fairly certain I'm an alien. I know for sure there's bots all over social media in particular. I get the impression there's a lot of bots on Twitter. I know it's called X now, but I still can't, I still refer to it as Twitter. I'm not a bot is exactly what a bot pretending to be a human would say. You're on to me there, Robbie. Are there any bots here now? Who knows? Nobody calls it X. I don't see many people calling it X, so I think you're right. Leave Twitter, that place is unhealthy. I agree. Yeah, I left Twitter like 2.5, maybe 3 years ago at this point, and one of the best decisions I ever made. That platform is... there aren't even words to describe that platform anymore. It's a lost cause. I left over 10 years ago after being attacked. Oh God, bless you. Bless you, Timmy. Yeah. I was never attacked on Twitter, but I was getting fed up with all of the, it's all just negativity. Back when I was on it, there was a lot less bots. And even then, it was all just negativity. You would log onto there would just be stupid fights over God knows what. And yeah, it's a cesspool of negativity and hatred and anger and God knows what. And now, on top of that, most of it, if you go onto a post on Twitter now and you look at the replies, I swear that most replies that you see under posts on Twitter are mostly bots. I think. For me, it was the constant not safe for work bots under everything. That too. Yeah, there was a lot of that as well. I don't like Twitter. It's kind of a shame because when I first joined Twitter, it was actually a pretty cool platform to be on. This would have been around 2013, so that a long time ago. It was pretty cool. But boy, it's not what it used to be. I'm going to go on my walk. Thanks for the fun stream, Laura, and congrats again on your Twitch partnership. Thank you, Jurassic Sap. Have a nice walk. Before Musk bought it. Yeah, it was definitely going downhill before Musk bought it, but it's gotten a lot worse since then. It's really bad now. Because I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's videos as well on YouTube that have talked about this, how like the monetization aspect on Twitter really incentivizes people to just make trash content and what's the word I'm looking for? Rage bait content. That's it. Rage bait content because it gets clicks and because they are monetized, these, you know, verified with the tick accounts. They make rage bait content for high engagement. And so you see loads of it everywhere because that's how they make money. And it's just, it's horrible. So I feel for people that are still on there. I feel for them. 2013, that was like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long ago, to be honest, 2013. Engagement farming, yes. Hi, Laura, congrats on the partnership. Thank you, yeah, 28. Then it was clear what path Twitter was going under new ownership, yeah. Definitely. Congrats on Twitch partnership. Hopefully one day I will too. Thank you, Revan7 Zukuk. Thank you. And yes, hopefully you reach Twitch partnership one day as well. What time is it? Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to have to leave now because I need to cook dinner. I have to leave in a minute. I wish it was 2013 again. Yeah, sometimes I do wish we could go back because there are definitely elements to the past that were better, you know. What's for dinner? Well, yesterday was stir fry, so that means today is steak. The two meals I always cook, stir fry and steak, on my assigned cooking days. Which platform is better or which do you prefer? Out of like all the social media platforms? I only have Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. Is that it? I think it is. I guess my favorite like traditional social media platform is Instagram, but I have my issues with Instagram as well. As for which I prefer between YouTube and Twitch, I can't say. Oh, there's an insect up there. You know, I probably can say that, but like, I need to be on the good side of both of them, guys. Of Twitch and YouTube. They're watching you, Laura. Exactly, they're watching me. Twitch Hydrate redeems smashed your sippy cup. That is true. Oh my god, that was so embarrassing yesterday. My favourite is Twitch Tube, exactly. Twitch Tube. I love Twitch Tube. You which or Twitch Tube? Yeah, that was embarrassing yesterday. I literally, so if anyone wasn't there, I used to have 2 of these. It's made of glass. It's more so something you would expect someone to put their coffee in, but I just put water in mine. And I accidentally knocked my other one off my desk and it smashed. Glass went everywhere. Water went everywhere because it was literally full. So I had to clean it up. Yeah, that's what happened yesterday. Oh, thank you for the Prime sub. I can't read that on my screen. Daniel Lofty, thank you. She threw it in a fit of rage. Yes, I threw it in a fit of rage. Okay. Congrats on the partnership and good luck with your future. Thank you, Ellis. Okay, I will finish the stream now so that I can start dinner, and I will stream more RE4 remake on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it. And I was going to do another stream of some sort before RE9 comes out on Friday, but I think I might like take a break in between Tuesday if I finish RE4 remake on Tuesday, between there and RE9 coming out, instead of doing another stream, but I haven't decided yet. We'll see. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you, Waron. I haven't decided yet though, so we'll see. So I will definitely see you all on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll finish RE4 remake. And yeah, I haven't yet decided whether I will stream something else between RE4 remake on Tuesday and RE9 on Friday. We'll see. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining, and I will see you on Tuesday for those that join. Thank you. Bye bye.